you don't hold it, you don't own it. A lot of silver retailers run with that story. This is off of Chris Duane's website, by the way. He linked to an article by Max Slavo, and this statement is absolutely correct. If you don't hold it, you technically don't own it. And this is a statement used to say that, hey, you know what, there's a lot of paper ETFs out there with silver, such as this SLV or this phony baloney stock market, and you're just betting on all these paper instruments. And you technically don't own it if you don't hold it, or if you don't hold it, you don't own it. And this is what stacking's all about in the eyes of the hardcore stackers. But now let's look at Bitcoins and see if we could apply this statement. I mean, look at Mt. Gox right now. Mt. Gox, as you can see from this statement, well, they're experiencing problems and people still cannot withdraw their money from there. There are a lot of rumors out there saying that they're going to go insolvent. So those individuals, now some of them may realize that phrase, if you don't hold it, you don't own it. And unfortunately, many people have learned the hard way. And why am I bringing this up? Well, a lot of people are talking about the so-called zombie apocalypse that's going to happen soon. And one way people actually diversified to protect themselves from this zombie apocalypse is Bitcoins. That was one of their avenues. Some people foolishly made the decision to take all their life savings and put it in Mt. Gox. No joke. And some people will get death threats about that, which is quite sad. But what does this mean in general? It means that, hey, guess what? Maybe if this zombie apocalypse does happen, I personally think that it's first going to have a deflationary head fake before any of this happens. But regardless of whatever happens, and if you're still in the belief that we're going to have a zombie apocalypse, we're going to have a dollar collapse, or we're going to have a nasty depression because of the derivatives and all that stuff, then maybe you want to have in your own possession where you can access it. You don't necessarily have to have it in your home. Maybe just have some cash on hand. Maybe if you're scared of bank runs, right, or bail-ins, you have some cash on the side just in case the worst case scenario happens. Or B, you could have some gold and silver that is available to you whenever you will need it in case of emergency. It doesn't necessarily have to be in your home. I'm not talking about a bank, but in other secret locations that you personally would know, and that those items would be safe. So the key lesson is that individuals, if they're preparing for this so-called hyperinflation or bail-ins, the list goes on and on and on, then number one, make sure you look at that statement. If you don't hold it, you technically don't own it. And that's going to be really important. Some people are worried about rehypothecation. If they are, then think about that statement. I'm not joking. And there's nothing wrong in having some cash on hand as well. It's not all about stacking. Because if you remember in New York, what happened during that Hurricane Sandy? People were using cash. They weren't using gold and silver. So when SHTF, cash is king. And I do believe that people will be trading in tangible goods such as gold and silver in order to protect themselves, or whether it's going to be other food products. The list goes on and on and on. So take this as a lesson. Hopefully most of you have learned from your past mistakes and this is not going to happen to you again. Alright guys, short video. Talk to you soon. Bye.